morning, we are remembering Pope Francis. Tributes to the first Latin American pope are pouring in from around the world.
Funeral plans have just been announced as we're getting a look at what's happening at the Vatican right now. Christina Fan joins us live here with more on the very latest. Christina?
Vatican media.
Cardinals are meeting for the very first time at the Vatican to make crucial decisions about running the Catholic Church following the Pope's death. They have just announced public viewing at St. Peter's Basilica will begin tomorrow, and the funeral, which will be attended by Catholics and leaders around the world, is scheduled for Saturday. The Vatican released the first images of Pope Francis in his casket as the Vatican's Secretary of State prays over him. His remains moved to St. Peter's Basilica as cardinals meet to decide the date of his funeral. Earlier, the doors to his papal apartments were sealed, a symbolic end to his 12-year papacy, defined by his commitment to service, unity, and compassion.
El Papa de la gente.
The Pope of the people? I've always been a pastor. You are a pastor for the people, not for yourself. A pastor has to be for the people.
According to a death certificate shared by Vatican officials, 88-year-old Francis died after having a stroke that put him into a coma and led to irreversible heart failure. His death comes just one day after he celebrated Easter with the faithful in St. Peter's Square, where his voice was weak, but his commitment to peace unwavering, calling attention to conflicts across the world, especially the Middle East.
It may be in retrospect, I'm just speculating here, that he knew time was running out, and so he thought, well, what am I doing? Am I going to sit in my room, or am I going to go out and be the Pope, especially on Easter? So, you know, he died with his boots on.
Fordham University's David Gibson, who covered Pope Francis when he worked for Vatican Radio, says even during his recent illness, Gaza weighed heavily on his mind.
Going day to day, double pneumonia, he was still calling a Catholic parish in Gaza every day to stay in touch with them.
Pope Francis and President Trump have not always seen eye to eye, especially on the issue of immigration. But Trump said he will attend the pontiff's funeral and claims he shares his message of tolerance for migrants.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man.
In his final will, Pope Francis confirmed that he will be buried at Santa Maria Maggiore, a basilica just outside of the Vatican and home to his favorite icon of the Virgin Mary. Chris and Mary, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you. The Roman Catholic Church is now preparing for Pope Francis's final send-off set for Saturday, as we mentioned, and expected to draw the faithful from all around the world.
St. Patricks Cathedral in Midtown today. Cardinal Dolan will celebrate a mass in his honor. Derick is there and joins us live. Derick.
Mary, Chris, good morning to you. And that mass to celebrate the life of Pope Francis happening today at St. Patrick's Cathedral at noon. And really, this is the second day that people have been gathering here to mourn at the cathedral. Timothy Cardinal Dolan presided over a special mass in the Pope's honor on Monday, and thousands showed up to pay their respects. Francis is being remembered as the people's Pope, a great spiritual leader who was a tireless activist for peace. Mayor Eric Adams directed flags to be flown at half-staff and called his visit to the Vatican, quote, one of the most sacred and special moments of my life. Monday, we spoke to some of the parishioners here who came to pay respects, as well as Cardinal Dolan.
We're convinced that even though Pope Francis is passed over from this life to the next, he still lives. He still lives. Even though we have rock-solid confidence in the mercy of Jesus, we never take it for granted.
It is solemn, but I think there is a supreme reverence happening in there.
I feel like I lost a parent. It's very sad.
And I feel like it was very special that we got to share this on the day that the Pope died.
And the Cardinal will actually depart for Rome later today for the funeral of Pope Francis and the subsequent conclave to elect his successor. And again, that mass today at noon, and it is open to the public. Reporting live here in Midtown, Derick Waller, CBS News New York.
Derick, thank you. And our own Tina Kraus is in Rome. She joins us live now. Hello, Tina. And what is happening at the Vatican now?
Hey, Mary.
That funeral plans have been announced. What is happening there now?
Well, St. Peter's Square has been filling up so quickly all morning, with the faithful just streaming into the basilica behind me, where Pope Francis's body will begin lying in state tomorrow morning. For several days, he will stay there, giving the faithful a chance to honor him ahead of his funeral on Saturday at 10 a.m. local time.
And when do we expect the conclave to begin to choose the next pope?
Well, certainly before mid-May at this point, because we know 15 to 20 days after the Pope's death is when it's set to begin. But that's what some of the cardinals, there's a lot of business going on behind closed doors right now. You know, the running of the church itself, and also figuring out things like when this conclave will begin. So we expect to learn that very soon this week, and we'll certainly let you know.
And during this time, who is currently running things at the Vatican until a successor is chosen?
Yeah, well, this time is known in Latin as the sede vacante. That means the seat is empty. And right now, it's an American. He's the highest-ranking American in the Vatican, a 77-year-old named Kevin Farrell. He's known as the Cardinal Chamberlain. And he oversees everything from the Pope's body being placed in the coffin to yesterday, the Pope's death being certified, to all of the church matters going forward where there's not a Pope in place until the smoke comes out of the Sistine Chapel, that white smoke, saying that we have chosen a pope once 2/3 of the majority is found in these secret ballot votes. Well, until then, the Cardinal Chamberlain will remain in power here at the Vatican.
Tina Kraus, live from Rome. Thank you, Tina. And we'll have more coverage on the Pope's passing in just a few minutes when we are joined live by the Director of Culture and Religion at Fordham University.